Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says he hopes Canadians will download a new app on their smartphones that will alert them if they've come into contact with someone who has tested positive for COVID-19. The PM unveiling the COVID Alert app yesterday as part of the national fight against the pandemic. Data security and privacy expert Faye Arjomandi is joining us now with more on this. Good morning, Faye. Thanks for being here.
Good morning, Neetu. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, you are very familiar with how contact tracing apps work because your company, Mimik, developed one right here in BC. So let's start with explaining how this COVID Alert app would work.
Yes, hi. So, yes, Mimik is a hybrid edge cloud platform company, and contact tracing could be one of the apps that is utilizing the underlying technology. The idea of Mimik is putting the users in the center and the main authority that they have control over their data, and regardless of where they are, which city, which country, they are the one that basically collecting information on their device, and then from the device, an alert, anonymized alert can be sent to other devices. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to ask, there are a lot of questions around this app that's been announced by the federal government. Not a lot of details about what it might mean for people's privacy, for example. What are some concerns around that?
That's exactly the question. There is no information about how this is going to get implemented. Obviously, they are using the APIs from Google and Apple that is now becoming integrated as part of operating system. And that by itself has privacy concerns, because, for instance, we know that Google's major business is from utilizing data for advertising. And that's one of the reason, being part of operating system prevents me as a user to just delete an app. And that's why countries such as France and Germany decided not to utilize that approach. And then the second question is, what is the implementation of this technology? Because, for instance, Shopify is obviously a very large e-commerce shopping platform, and BlackBerry obviously is providing, I believe, implementation of the software. So it is not clear in terms of how this technology is going to be implemented, where the data is going to reside, what happens when I move from one city to another city, and how does this data pass from one health authority to another health authority. And generally speaking, all this ambiguity prevents us as a user to actually download such an app, because we don't know where the data is, how we are being tracked or not tracked, who has access to our data, and even Apple and Google are not disclosing how the technology exactly will be working. They're only talking to governments and not to the average technology companies and everyday technology companies.
Right, and we heard the Prime Minister say it is voluntary, but it will be more effective with more people signing up to use this. Faye, thanks so much for coming on and sharing insight. We'll continue to watch what the government has to say about the launch.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.